We thank you for being here with us. My name is Shaniqua Lassiter. I am the Associate Director of Enrollment Management, and I'll ask my colleague in the Enrollment Management who is on to also introduce herself.
Thank you, Shaniqua. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Deanna Davis, and I serve as the Assistant Director of Enrollment Management. And I'm so excited that you all could join us today to learn more about entrepreneurship and experiential learning at Cary Academy.
Thank you, Deanna. All right, and we have a wonderful team that is getting ready to provide you guys with some great information. So I will hand that over to Danielle so she can begin introducing her team and get this presentation started. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shaniqua and Deanna. We are excited to be here. My name is Danielle Johnson-Webb, and I'm the Director of Equity in the Center for Community Engagement. I'm excited to have my team here today just to lay it out for you all. We will give an overview of what we do. I will tell you that we could spend hours talking to you about what the CCE does because it's just so exciting and it's so deep. We will give a light overview and then we will open the floor. We'll invite some of our students on and then we'll open the floor for questions. So that'll be the layout for today. But I'm excited to be here to talk to you about the CCE. We oftentimes call our area the area of yes, right? Where we want young people to come to us with their ideas, if that's service learning, entrepreneurship, experiential learning, leadership, and we want to be able to say yes to what they bring forth. But first, I would like each person on my team to introduce themselves, and I would love to start with service learning.
Hey everyone, thanks for being here. My name's Maggie Grant and I'm the Service Learning Director here at CA.
Michael. Oh, you're muted, Michael.
Sorry, I'm Michael McElreath. I'm the Director of Experiential Learning.
Entrepreneurship.
I'm Palmer Seeley and I'm the Entrepreneurship Director here.
And most importantly, Megan.
Hi, my name is Megan. I'm the administrative assistant at the CCE as well as a cafe supervisor in the cafe that we have.
Thank you all. So what is the CCE? We are comprised again of entrepreneurship, service learning, experiential learning, and all of that, right, is through the lens of equity and many other things. We, as you'll hear, put on a number of things for our students. Some of those, again, service learning opportunities, service through some of our clubs. You'll hear we do learning sprints, we do internships, we have a cafe. You guys are going to hear all about that. But the one thing that I think is most important that I would love to stick with you all today is, again, the Office of Yes. We are asking young people to stretch themselves, stretch their minds, really in terms of that growth mindset. And taking risks, right? We feel like we are an office where we have a framework where students can come in, fail appropriately, learn how to do that before college when the stakes are really, really high, and learning how to recover. So I would love to start out. Maggie Grant is going to tell us a little bit about service learning.
So I'll try to keep this brief. We do a lot at CA around service learning. What you see on the screen is our mission of the service learning program. We really encourage students and challenge students to delve into some of the social issues that are frankly plaguing our communities and building partnerships, equitable community partnerships to really get our students kind of out of the bubble that is their school or their typical neighborhood. And so with service learning at CA, we have grade level initiatives in 6th through 8th grade. For example, in 6th grade, they do a year-long project addressing local food insecurity and with the Backpack Buddies. In 7th grade, we have service learning woven into their migration collaboration project, which is are learning about experiences of immigrants and refugees here in the Triangle. In 8th grade, we're developing a new service learning initiative that will be year-round around environmental justice. So we do all kinds of things in the upper school. We have a student-led service club where students can choose a committee that they want to focus on a certain population or area, such as community members with disabilities or working with the elderly or addressing environmental concerns, things like that. So there's a lot of leadership opportunities there. And again, with all of this, we're really, encouraging students and challenging students to think about why these issues persist and how we can be a part of the solution. And a part of that, as Danielle mentioned, is encouraging students to take risks. And sometimes that is, it feels risky to think about our privilege and think about aspects of our identities that maybe make life easier for us or make life a little more challenging, and the same with others in our community. And so we really push our students and also ourselves as staff and faculty here to do that. We also have a lot of different school-wide service initiatives, ways that families can get involved through family service days. It's partnership with the PTAA. Through, of course, X Days, which you'll hear a lot more about. We offer all kinds of direct service learning advocacy opportunities on X Days, and that's for middle school through 12th grade. And we do some other initiatives such as our Giving Tree around the holiday. We host Special Olympics in the spring. So some things that can really build not only community here at school, but also kind of strengthen our ties to the outside community. So that's just a little bit about service learning. And again, equity and taking risks is really tied into all of that.
Thank you, Maggie. And I think another important thing to highlight is at Cary Academy, there is not a required number of service hours, but one of our largest clubs is our Delta Service Club, right? So I think that speaks, we're really looking for young people to have authentic moments, not, do it because you have to get 30 hours done before you graduate from CA. And so we really want it to be authentic. Maggie, thank you so much. And next we have Dr. Michael McElreath to give you a little insight into experiential learning.
Hey, everybody. So experiential learning, when I'm talking about it to folks who are not in the education world, or even sometimes who are and want to understand what it is, it's sort of opportunities for students to have an authentic engagement with their themselves, with their community, with their school, but also outside of the school. We try to hook up students with lots of opportunities to know about, both through service learning and other kinds of experiential activities, their community, and to be involved in their community in some deep way. There's a long list of things that we do connected with experiential learning. I will tell you that maybe the one that's got the oldest pedigree at CA is something called Discovery Term. Discovery Term happens at the end of the year. It's the last 2 weeks of the school year in the upper school. And during those 10 days of Discovery Term, typically we've got about 15 or 16 different courses that are co-developed and then co-led by students in the upper school around topics that they are interested in. It's everything from, a deep dive into a particular kind of history, or a backpacking trip that takes a full week in the second week, or learning a specific skill, or developing an art project that will be installed by the end of the time. There's all kinds of different courses that have come out of Discovery Term. And what we had seen over the years was that, we end the year in this really kind of halcyon way, really, really nice way. And we'd like to bring more of that into the school year. And so partly because of that, we have done things like expand opportunities to do Discovery Term kind of learning throughout the year. The main way that we now do that is across the year. This year, for instance, we have 13 X days. We're about to have our fourth one on any given X day. We've got all 780 plus of our students participating in something like 80, 85 different activities across the day. Many of those are either student proposed or sometimes even student led activities. Some of them are full day, some of them are for an hour, and there's everything in between. Some of them are sports related, some of them are about some things you could think of as additions to our curriculum and all the different disciplines. Some of them are things that because you need extra time to do them, it might be a ski trip, it might be a trip down to Fayetteville to go to the Special Ops Museum. There's lots of different things that happen on an X day. And we are still building that program. We're still getting to the place where we feel like we've got it under our belt, but we're really pleased with what we've seen so far and the ways that it encourages new sorts of engagement among our students and with all of our employees. We also have something called the Work Experience Program. I'll just tell you briefly that happens as of now during Discovery Term. It's for rising seniors in the school. Typically what happens is around January, they let us know these are the kinds of career interests we have. Not every junior does it, but something like 3/4 of them now do. And we then match them up with a host, a mentor who will give them a genuine work experience during the last 2 weeks of the school year. This past year, we placed about 90 students in that program, in everything from doctors' offices to lawyers' offices to engineers to nonprofit professionals, all kinds of things. So we're really excited about that program, and it's one that's borne a lot of fruit. I could go on. We have learning sprints. They're things that take a couple of days at a time. we've sent students to build a car. We've sent students to an International Climate Change Summit in Switzerland. And typically what we expect is when they come back from those learning sprints, they've now got some skills and some learning that they can share with the community. And that has happened in a number of ways. So lots of things we can share, and I look forward to your questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. I think just to add on to that, what we know, right, is in this country, education is being looked at, right, differently. We're coming out of a pandemic. I will tell you that Cary Academy has been on the forefront of this, right, probably for over a decade, really digging into this experiential learning. And what we know from some of the most highly selective universities, I do want to be clear, we don't put anything in place here, right, to pad a college application. But what we know is that these experiences are what make young people interesting, right? When you're reading college applications and college essays, we're hearing from the most selective universities that something like XD is brilliant to put into a child's schedule. So just really excited that we will continue this work. We will continue to be a national leader in this work, and we will continue to progress forward through that. And up next, we have entrepreneurship. We are going to give Mr. Seeley a little extra time because he has debuted a new part of our campus that I hope that he will speak about a little bit. Oh, is he
Unmuted, okay. Maybe we should start with that one that Danielle alluded to, the school cafe, which is at the very bottom of the bullets there. So this year we have opened our long-awaited cafe on campus, which is a relaunch of the campus store with food and beverage service, with volunteer student staff under trained supervisors, one of whom is Megan, here with us on the panel. And through their engagement with the cafe, which in and of itself is experiential learning, they are learning about different aspects of this startup business. And first step would be to learn how to be a barista, and how to run the point of sale system, right? But then moving on to other departments, including accounting, marketing, social media marketing, inventory management. So some of the students involved in that are in the entrepreneurship class, and they will be taking a slightly deeper dive into those other disciplines related to the business. And some have volunteered essentially as a club, the Cafe Crew Club. And that entrepreneurship class, which is an elective for 9th through 12th graders, the students in that course so far have been diving into learning how to develop the menu, learn the recipes, and then price out all those recipes. And so they've been learning about margin and all sorts of other fun stuff. The entrepreneurship program goes beyond that one course. I would say in and of itself, it's sort of a meta experience. Over the last several years that we've been growing our entrepreneurship program, we've been doing a lot of the skills of iteration, right? And thinking through how do we continue to build on our existing program. So we partner with an organization called District C, and now all of our 9th graders who take art and design for the full year rotate through 4 distinct studios, 2 of which are visual arts, 1 is robotics, and then 1 is with me in the entrepreneurial studio, and they consult with local businesses and nonprofits to help them solve a real business problem that they are faced with, that they're having a tough time solving themselves. And so that's every 8 weeks, I meet new businesses and introduce them to the students, and introduce those students to mindsets and tools that will help them with that collaborative problem-solving work. And that's thrilling. We also have non-course related entrepreneurial programs, one of which is our Chargerpreneur program. So we have students on campus who are makers and one student who just graduated last year crochets, and she did an independent study with me last year. So I know a lot about her finances because we talked about them weekly. She grossed $5,000 in the month of January, selling crocheted plush toys online. And so she also is able to sell those in our campus store, along with, we have a student author who's published a couple children's books that we sell. We have a student who has made knit hats and scarves that we sell, some with our school colors and some without. And so they end up being able to make some money and along the way learn how to run their business. We also, I would say, want to focus on, and do focus on in the entrepreneurship program, for-profit entrepreneurship as well as nonprofit entrepreneurship. And in both of those domains, really think about finding out what our market is that would buy our product or service, or and what the market need is, right? So rather than saying, what do you want to do? I want to build an app. Great, let's go do it, right? It's what problem do you want to solve? Who needs that problem being solved? And let's go talk to them and really dive into that problem so that we solve it in an effective way, because that one will truly help that person, right, in that community, and two would actually probably result in a better business down the line.
Thank you, Ms. Palmer-Seeley. Megan does not have a slide, but I do. And Megan, I'm going to speak as if you're not here. Sometimes I do that, and I always acknowledge it, hopefully first before I do it. To me, the addition of Megan to our team, it speaks to our intentionality, right? Megan's coming to us with study in entrepreneurship, food preparation. She's a fantastic pastry chef, right? And we knew that we needed someone who could see everything and how it's connected and what we're doing. So she has been an amazing addition to our team. At this time, I would love to welcome students onto the panel, and I will stop sharing. Is that okay, Shaniqua and Deanna?